Hey, welcome to Morning Jams on the Porch with Stephen Leake. I'm Stephen. I'm here with my dog Charlie. It's Monday, July 28th, 2025. It's a beautiful day. Absolutely gorgeous outside. It's hot as hell, but it's been that way for a while. So, nothing crazy. Thanks for being here with me today. I've got a good show for you. Some good songs lined up. And I've got my dog out here to be my mascot. You want to see him? His name's Charlie, and I just got him a couple months ago. We went to Amelie's this morning to get coffee. We hung out and people watched for a while, and he was really good, and he's been really well tempered. We just watched people go by as I drank coffee and had a cream brulee. I'm really happy with this guy. He's doing good. I've noticed something just kind of randomly looking on my social media feed. I came across a picture of the southern hemisphere's albedo, which is like the atmosphere, and the reflective particle and the reflective stuff in the atmosphere that protects us from direct sunlight. And there's something happening there. It has happened just recently, in the past couple months, that it hasn't happened before. It could be why we're experiencing such heat everywhere. But I haven't. There's only kind of a preliminary discovery, and you probably have to look into it a little bit more. But it has something to do with the natural protection of the Earth. It's kind of been fried up, and the only thing that's now protecting the southern hemisphere seems to be kind of artificial reflective particles, things like that. It seems to be completely artificially controlled at this point. And you can tell by atmospheric data from the southern hemisphere. Something to look into. There's no way to know if that's accurate or not, though. I'm sure there's other things you can do to tell, but maybe some of my more scientifically minded people look into that. Could be an explanation for this heat. Anyway, there's shit like that going on all the time. There's nothing to be that concerned about. Okay, I'm going to start us off with American Gangster. There's something else I'd like to talk about. I'm I don't put too much into the sovereign citizen movement just because it's been so maligned in media. I agree with their assessment of what the problem is, and that they seem to be convinced that there's a two-tiered citizenship. Something, and it's something to do with birth certificates, and that our financial system is based off of each person, their physical body and their labor during their lifetime being used as basically collateral for the money we print, which would make us all literal slaves. And this is kind of the system that we sign on to. And I've done a podcast on the U.S. Corporation Act of 1871, which was the act that kind of enslaved everybody and made the United States government a corporation. Stuff like that. It's really worth looking into. I did a podcast on it. Y'all should check it out. And that's kind of what the sovereign citizen movement is about. And I totally support them. They've been so propagandized and misaligned in the media. And there's all kinds of movies about that, the people in that movement, that you can't really touch it with a 10-foot pole. If you're just doing mainstream political stuff, you can't really venture into that. You can't really go into that. And that's right. I just do mainstream political stuff at the moment. Nothing crazy. but like that movement has been so co-opted by bad actors. You can't really go near the side of sovereign citizen movement. I kind of strictly remain within mainstream libertarianism and like ethical, legal means of protest and resistance. Okay, American Gangster. We're on the precipice of a golden age, a time of peace and prosperity for all Americans. If we can keep the faith, keep on pushing, it's the last stand on earth for freedom of the individual. It's our birthright to live free and safe, to speak our minds, keep what we earn. We won't be ground into dust by taxes and bureaucracy. I'll always help those that serve for others. We will never submit to tyranny as long as my friends and I have breath in our lungs. It's our birthright to live free and safe. To speak our minds. Keep what we earn. We're on the precipice of a golden age. A time of peace and prosperity for all Americans. If we keep the faith, keep pushing. This is the last stand on earth for the dignity of the individual. buddy. Come on. I love this dog. He's just so enthusiastic and happy to see me all the time. He's got the perfect temperament. I'm gonna have to write the York County Animal Shelter a thank you note, like handwritten and stuff, to Brittany, because she picked this dog out for me, and I just told her exactly what I was looking for, and she got it exactly right. This dog's been perfect for what I was wanting to do. Come here, buddy. Come on. Anyway, you know, I feel like if if the animal shelter could run all the rest of the government, we wouldn't have any problems. It cost me $75 to get exactly what I was looking for: microchipped, neutered, with all his shots. $75. And like, if you can provide a service like that cheap, what's preventing other areas, other departments and shit from doing the same thing? Come here, buddy. It's okay. Come on. I said something about like the change in the atmospheric conditions. That's true, and I've looked into it. I saw something on social media, which is like, social media is not useless. Like any tool, it's a double-edged sword, and it depends on how it's used. If it's used nefariously, it'll be bad, but it can also be used for good things. You know, like it depends on how it's used and who's using it for what. It's no secret that I'm like into conspiracies, because my podcast is based on an X-Files episode, the name of it. And but it doesn't mean that like things like that don't exist, don't happen, and aren't real. Everything in the X-Files is kind of based off of known things, and they went, and like everything about the storyline and the specific episodes and the different seasons has come out since it aired as being somehow true. So there's one episode where they talk about the smallpox vaccine. This is an X-Files episode, and it talks about how the smallpox vaccine was used to track people, and like it was like an ID, like a biological ID to like categorize, track them, and like it's come out since that was aired that there is such a thing as a biodigital ID that's been done without Americans' consent, that is like tracking them, from what I understand. And like those things have always been real. You know, governments don't. This is something that all governments either do or would do if they had the means and money. You can see it happening. Something similar happening in China, where it's even kind of more dystopian than it is here, where you've got a social credit system, where, you know, if you so much as jaywalk, those computers will scan your face, recognize you, pull your ID up, and immediately take money out of your account, and like broadcast your face on like the big screen nearby. And it's like super terrifying to even think about. And lots of people want to do that here. If we let these big tech companies have their way, it'll be done here. So people start needing to look into things and become politically active. You need to be going to town council, city council, county council, shit like that, and report to your fellow citizens what they're doing in local government. I would even go so far as to say, get with your friends and pull your money together and create a website where you can post stuff that's reporting on what you're finding out in your city council meetings, your county council, all that stuff. Follow your sheriff's department, follow your police department. Talk about what they're doing, post things, report on things. That's how it's always meant to be. we've always, it's supposed to have where we have a free press that actively watches your government. That's how it was set up to be. But because of the internet, so many local papers are out of business, and you only have like a fragmented, uh, loose group of like activists, I guess you'd call it, that even keep up with that kind of stuff anymore. But you need to be like you need to be going to these meetings. You need to be reporting on it and make a website or something where you post it at. That's what I would suggest for York County and really every county. There are simple things that if everybody just take some small steps and do simple things, we would be fine. Okay, and like everybody needs to be stocking up at least maybe two weeks to a month worth of food and potable water, and a means to cook that, or at least heat it up and eat it. Um, there are businesses that sell prepackaged storable food that you just add water to. I like My Patriot Supply for that. And then they have water purification. My favorite's AlexaPure.com. They have whole house systems or just countertop systems. And I know it sounds like preppy, kind of like you're being a prepper or something, but what's making everybody sick is fluoride and tap water. Okay, I have well water because I live in the country, and it's not something I ever had to deal with. But a lot of people are still getting fluoride in their water. It's a known neurotoxin. And so much shit like that. If you're getting sick, it's because you're consuming something that's making you sick. And you need to stop and change your diet or something you're consuming, putting in your body that is making you sick. And what cancer is when these toxins build up and you can't hold it anymore. The body creates a membrane around the toxins to like contain it, and that's what a tumor is. And then you can like detoxify that. The worst thing you could do is cook your organs with chemo or radiation. That's just gonna kill you. Nobody should be dying from cancer. It's a natural process of the body. You can help it run its course. And then like biopsy, you should never biopsy a tumor. That's just gonna puncture that membrane, and that shit's gonna go all through your body, cause more cancer to go everywhere. So if you are diagnosed with that, it's most likely a nest of toxins or parasites. And you need to be taking ivermectin and I don't know how to pronounce that stuff, but there's a cocktail of stuff. Fenbendazole and membendazole plus ivermectin is a cocktail that was just discovered recently that has proven peer-reviewed anti-cancer effects. And ivermectin itself has been proven, again, peer-reviewed, studied, to be effective in managing vaccine injury. So for anyone who's taken the vaccine, I would highly suggest taking ivermectin because it's been approved for human use since 1987, and the people who discovered it won a Nobel Prize because it was so safe and effective. And the fact that the whole entire medical community in the United States suddenly talked about it like it was poison, it was only good for animals or veterinary stuff, is insane. And that should throw off some red flags for you right there. Like if Donald Trump came out at the very beginning of the pandemic and said ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, and maybe a couple others that were proven effective therapeutics that treated COVID without any side effects. Okay, and if people would just listen to him from the beginning, none of this shit would have happened. The media went out of its way to demonize the recommendations of Donald Trump, and the media is complicit in mass murder because of it. I mean, the vaccine are clearly is going to be it's just clearly a biological agent, and they're trying to kill as many people as they possibly can. That is obvious to me anyway. And it's not meant to scare you; it's meant to get you to do something about it. Everybody in the CDC who would have been in a place to do something to prevent this or to approve it, be a part of it. And you can do this for almost any agency in the United States government who would have been in a position to know. It's like is of one demographic. I'm not going to go any further into that, but you need to look into it yourself. Look at who in the government would be responsible or would be in a position to know about USAID funding for coronavirus research. In the first place, gain of function research. Who would be responsible for funding that? Who would know about it? And if you look at the people in the positions of government, they're all from the same demographic. Okay. There's so many red flags in that. In the same demographic, it's also true of 9/11. If you look into who in the Bush administration would have been in a position to either stop or cause it to happen, they're from the same religion, the same demographic, and it's glaringly obvious to anybody paying attention who these people are. It represents the most direct threat to Americans today. This is everything I'm talking about. So it's something you need to be looking into. We can do research and figure out things and come to conclusions and even offer solutions. But if people don't act upon it, nothing. It's useless. So again, 2 to 4 weeks of storable food, water, whatever medicines you need. There are companies that employ physicians that will write you a prescription for ivermectin or whatever medicine you need, and can give it to you in bulk for like a year, if that's how that prescription can be refilled. And they just charge you a fee, and it's like a video appointment that you can do over Zoom, and they'll send you whatever medication they deem appropriate, ivermectin, whatever it is, and they'll send it directly to you. One such company is called JASE Medical. Check it out. Save your life. You have food, water, medicine, a means to defend yourself. And I'm not saying the government's going to come kick down your door. It would just be for criminals who would take advantage of a crisis. You will always have a criminal element that will take any opportunity to just go tear shit up and steal. And if it's known that you have a stockpile of food while other people are going hungry, criminals are gonna be aware of that and try to rob you. So if you have something to defend yourself, the perfect thing would be AR-15. That rifle is so useful. That would be my choice. And I would have a shotgun, which is what I have for home defense. That's all I really carry. But there's basic steps to make yourself not be a victim. You'll be fine, I promise. And then it would be helpful. It's just basic stuff that anybody should do. Check out ham radio. Take the test. Get your license for ham radio. Or you can do something where you don't have to have it take the test. And just do a handheld shortwave, like a Baofeng or just walkie-talkies, and have a network of guys where you have mutual aid in your neighborhood, in your community. You need 3 or 4 guys that you trust that are in good physical shape that will come help you, and vice versa, and you'll be fine. You should just do some basic stuff. It's just to like protect your property in the case of civil unrest. I'm not saying you go fight the government, anything crazy like that. It's just protecting your property during a natural disaster or um, civil unrest. And like people have always, this country's been all about mutual aid since its inception. During the Great Depression, you would have families and communities that had to like share resources to help each other, and that's all it is. You know, some people have make it a lifestyle, make this their lifestyle, where they are as independent from the system as they can be. You have like a victory garden, you grow your own food, and stuff like that. And people love it. And it gives you a real sense of like accomplishment and independence. But not everybody's going to do that. I don't think everybody has to. But if you're so inclined to become independent from the system, I have a whole page of resources and further reading on my page, StephenLeake.com, Freedom Library. It's just kind of practical things you can do to be more self-sufficient. That's all it is. Okay. And I do have a radio station, an internet radio station, where I broadcast 24/7, like shows that talk about libertarian activism, political activism, practical steps for self-defense, and online privacy stuff, like getting a VPN, using cache, basic stuff. I'm always going to have that available. If you don't, if you were to have like a civil unrest, tune into it, see what I'm saying. And I'm not the only person doing that. Lots of people have built up their own little platforms for that one reason. And I'm as soon as I get like the next album I sell, the very next $10 I get from my music or whatever it is, I'm going to start a website for York County News. From just going to the city council meetings, stuff like that, because we don't have that anymore, and that's very sorely needed. I've been trying to get some other people to help me with it. Anyway, it's enough politics for one day. That's been I've thrown a lot of information at you, but if I can just make you go research some stuff on your own, I would have done my job. This is called methadone. Speaking of drugs, apparently, my generation, has been utterly decimated by it. If you follow where in the world these opiates get grown, because they come from a plant. It's Afghanistan. That's where the raw material for the opioid epidemic is coming from. And I can show you on the chart how opium production was almost non-existent there until the U.S. got involved in a war there, and it skyrocketed. And then all of a sudden there was drugs in the streets of America. And you can, extrapolate shit from that. But so many people that I love and care about, and myself included, have been damn near almost destroyed by drugs. And I take methadone myself, it's a big part of my life, and I've been in recovery for 20 years. such a piece of shit. My clothes are all dirty. The cigarette burns from nodding off. I finally saved up for a used car. The damn thing broke down in my driveway. I can't keep a woman for longer than a year before she figures out I'm a giant loser. Clothes are all dirty from cigarette burns from nodding off. I finally got a used car. The damn thing broke down in my driveway. I never meant to be a drain in society. Long enough to get straight. I just damaged any woman who loves me. All my friends stopped talking to me long ago. I'm such a piece of shit. Clothes are all dirty. The cigarette burns from nodding off. I finally saved up for a used car. The damn thing broke down in my driveway. She figures out I'm a giant loser. Such a piece of shit. My clothes are all dirty. The cigarette burns from nodding off. It's called methadone. If you're struggling with like addiction, as tons of people are, there's probably somebody that you know, one of your friends, is probably in recovery himself. And if you don't know anybody to reach out to, shoot me a text, email me, hit me up through my website, stephenleake.com, and I can tell you shit I did to get healthy. But I promise you, if you just reach out to your own circle of friends, somebody who probably will be able to help you with it. And there's no, like, it's something that lots of people deal with. Every family almost has somebody in their family dealing with it. And it's nothing to be ashamed of, man. It's not as much of a personal moral failure as people think, or that you would think. This is a systematic thing that's been done to our country. It's an act of war, a hostile act by foreign power. It's coming from China. They're killing our people. Okay, and it's not your friend's fault or your sister's fault or anything like that. They got hooked on drugs. Okay, the raw material for the opiates came from Afghanistan, where our military was involved, spiked the whole time we were over there at war. And even before, even in the 90s, this is planned out ahead of time, where uh, OxyContin was purposefully introduced to people in a legal way for decades. It was pushed hard by doctors. They get to say that the pharmaceutical reps lied to them, but any fucking jackass can tell when something's addictive. You don't have to be a medical doctor to figure that out. So I don't really buy that cop out from doctors. If you go to medical school and you're the premier expert on like drugs and how they affect the human body, I know I could figure that out myself. I don't even have a fucking college education. Anyway, you should be upset. The American people have a right to be upset because this is a miscarriage of justice that doctors should have caught a long time ago. But it was allowed to happen, and my generation was allowed to get hooked on it, especially in rural areas. And then, once it was kind of proven that OxyContin was kind of dangerous, doctors stopped prescribing it so much, and then you have a simultaneous explosion of heroin that just magically appears simultaneously. These kind of large like cultural things don't happen in a vacuum. Somebody has to actually have grown the poppies, cultivated it, turned it into heroin, shipped it over, and then somebody has to deal it, traffic it. I mean, it's a whole complicated thing, but it doesn't magically appear in that way. This was planned out and done on purpose, and there's not many institutions and like organizations and criminal groups that are capable of that kind of shit. So you should have compassion for those who are dealing with it, because this was a systematic, organized, sophisticated attempt to kill people and to poison them with narcotics and ruin their lives and disrupt and destabilize our country. You have to start thinking like that. Like when bad stuff happens to everybody you know, it's not a random thing. There are lots of countries all over the world with way less resources that can prevent drugs from being on their streets like in that way. And in America, it's everywhere and it's cheap. We have an almost militarized police force. We have Homeland Security, FBI. We have all kinds of law enforcement agencies, 18 intelligence agencies, and still somehow you can throw a rock in a lower income neighborhood and hit and find somebody that is strung out. Anyway. I'm going to try, I don't do this song very often, but I'm going to try Cinnamon Hearts again. Hey, buddy. I know you're doing good. This dog loves me to death. He follows me around all day. I've only had him for like a month, and I've already taught him to sit. Alright, it's Cinnamon Hearts. Late night, smoke drifting upward. I think of how far we've come. Those days, you spoke the truth. There's something undeniable worthy to uncover it. After all these years, I still chase you down back alleys and motels on the edge of reality. A vision quest undertaken with stoic patience, a firm resolve to see it to the end. What was it? Esoteric and hidden, waiting for the worthy to uncover it. We will win freedom from our people. Live the rest of our days in halcyon moments of peace and victory. Telling our grandkids stories of our comrades that stay forever young is our collective memory. What was it? Esoteric and hidden, waiting for the worthy to uncover it. I'm getting better at like talking, singing, whatever, while playing. It's only because I do it every day. Whenever people seem to kind of be amazed by people that play music, it's really just practice. You do one thing over and over and over until you can't get it wrong. I'm going to recap what I was just talking about. Like, if there's anything I would do with money, if you had an extra couple thousand, I would take $1,000 in cash, in small bills, ones and fives, and stash it somewhere and not touch it. That would only be for an emergency, such as a cyber attack or a blackout, where the bank where we couldn't get money any other way. That would be only for getting by in a crisis. Then I would also have 2 to 4, maybe even a little bit more weeks of storable food for your entire family, plus storable water set up. These are all things that I already have set up. I would have the storable food for a month or so, storable water for a month, and that water would need to include cooking, drinking, and using your toilet, everything you would need water for. Then I would have a means to protect myself and my resources and my family from criminals who would take advantage of a crisis, especially if you live near a suburban or urban area. My choice for that would be an AR-15, maybe a pistol, and that would be plenty. But I would know you even need to know how to use it and practice it regularly. You shouldn't really fuck with a gun unless you are regularly going to practice it. You shouldn't have one just because it makes you feel powerful or good. You shouldn't use it in that way. So if you do get yourself an AR-15 or something, you need to be constantly practicing, and you need to keep it in proper working condition, and take a class, whatever you got to do to know how to handle it and take care of it. And there's your basic things that lots of people just grew up doing anyway. but it's not really, people aren't being raised like that anymore. So you may have to explain things a little bit to people who were never taught these things. This is stuff that I've always known, and like just from being in the country, and growing up kind of as a redneck. So, I mean, but not many people today do these things. Anyway. One of my next upcoming podcasts is going to be on crypto mining, which is something that you can do for just a few $1,000s, up to as much as you want to spend on it. And you can get I have one of my companies is called Monarch Sovereign Systems, and what I do there is like we've designed self-sufficient systems where it starts with a rainwater collection system and a solar panel to put on your roof, and the water is hooked up to a crypto mining computer, and the solar powers will power it, and you can put this in a completely off-grid house and set up your crypto mining computer. Just set it up, put it in the closet, and you just have to every couple of weeks check on it, and it'll make you $25-30 a day forever. And like and it comes as like a package that I offer through my company, where we can like set that up, and you don't have to be off grid or anything to do that. But that's just, you can do that. It's just the shit I think about all the time, you know. And like, and there's ways to like hook a ham radio to that solar panel, that electric system, and some basic stuff, and you can live completely off grid while making money, real money that is completely independent of the financial system. And then you'll be able to live indefinitely if you just learn some basic skills. You know, it's nothing anybody couldn't easily do if they just tried. That's Monarch Sovereign Systems. You can find it on monarchliterary.com, monarchliterary.com. And I have a link to it at stevenleake.com, stevenleake.com. Alright, I'm going to play my most recent song, One Fine Day. It just came out on Spotify a couple of days ago. It's already looking good. People, I think, are going to like it. And it's dedicated to my most recent girlfriend. We kind of had this effortless chemistry, and we kind of, it was just kind of magic, damn it. And like we weren't in a place. Neither one of us were in a place where we would be able to have properly been in a relationship. So we kind of had to just say, okay, I know I want to be with you, but we can't do it right now, and go off and try to get better independently. It was fucking tragic to me. And the fact that I can't just go be with this person is pissing me off. I'm like 40 and I should be able to do that. This song, smile, you know I love you. I'll be out there doing my thing. I'll come back for you one day. I know it hurts, but try to laugh through it. each other again one day. You hear this song, smile, know I love you. I'll be out there doing my thing. I'll come back for you one day. I didn't come all this way just to lose heart and quit. You keep me going when all seems lost. It'll be you I spend the rest of my life with, and never after that we get to choose. You hear this song, smile and know I love you. I'll be out there doing my thing. I'll come back for you one day. It's called One Fine Day. I really hope it works out that way. 'Cause I deserve like a good woman. Damn it. Everybody does, but I've been single way too much in my life. But I have had many intense, meaningful relationships with women. They just never work out long term. It's just almost like they're not supposed to. But anyway, it's been this kind of long episode, but I wanted to say everything I said just now, and we're gonna be all right. We just have to take some basic steps to prepare, and then we will be fine. And like I said, if you've had the vaccine, I think, I'm not a doctor, but I'm taking ivermectin for it. So I had two shots, and there's just an undeniable statistical link between all this death happening, all these athletes dropping dead and shit like that, and all these new blood clots, which are not actually blood clots. They're fibrous. They're actually novel shit that's never been seen before. They're being taken out of dead people's veins, and it's just like a smoking gun evidence of a biological agent, because the shit's never before been seen in nature. There's no other way to explain it. So be aware of that. We've got to bring the people who did it to justice, or it will happen again. The thing that makes it worse is if you just go back and look at what people like Bill Gates and Dr. Fauci have said previously, for 20 years. They keep saying they're going to reduce population through vaccines. And they can't. You couldn't possibly be more obvious about what they're trying to do. They tell you what they're trying to do, and they've been saying it for years. And you just have to look. You just have to Google it, and I could pull you up 10 videos of both of them, talking about using vaccines to kill people. And he's currently doing that in Africa. And maybe it's like the vaccines that are causing such an AIDS epidemic when just to randomly explode and shit like that. You have to start thinking like that when these novel diseases start popping up everywhere that have never existed before. That's where your thinking should go. The media has made it clear you can't trust it if you're just paying attention over the last 5 years at all. It's lied some way or another. Because when you have the left saying one thing and the right saying the exact opposite, something is happening. Okay, one of those two is lying. Anyway, thanks for being here today. We're about to come up on the hour mark, so I'm not going to take you up any more time. This has been like a double episode. So, thanks again for being here. Charlie's been hanging out being my mascot. I love that dog. This morning we went to Amelie's in Rock Hill, which is a coffee shop. We were out in the sidewalk, people watching. And I had some creme brulee and some fruit tarts. It was like awesome, my favorite kind of breakfast. Anyway, also I forgot to mention these blood clots. It's been peer reviewed that nicotine will dissolve the blood clots. So if you've had the shot, ivermectin to prevent the spike protein from getting into your cells, and then either smoke cigarettes or wear a nicotine patch to prevent blood clots from forming. If you do those things, and then also prepare, like I said, food, water, blah blah blah. If you do these things, you'll be fine. You'll get through it. There'll be no problem, and you'll get to see a golden age here dawn in America. Okay, so just go do some basic stuff to protect yourself, to get healthy, and I'll see you next time. It's been an absolute blast. This is a privilege for me to get to say all these things, to research, to play music, to do this creative stuff. I also have a podcast called Musings of a Cigarette Smoking Man. It's available on Spotify. You can also access it through my website, stephenleake.com. I do kind of like general interest stuff with a like counterculture libertarian angle, like a little bit of a conspiratorial bent. But at this point, I mean, the conspiracy theorists, as they call us, have been right damn near 100% of the time. So I have my novel Gethsemane, which is written about my time in Charleston as a chef and cook, really a cook, for several years. And like my story with my girlfriend down there, Amanda Zabella, who passed away from alcoholism in 2023. But it's about the food and beverage subculture and kind of how the wealthy college kids kind of get to live. Check it out. It's free in ebook format on stephenleake.com. If you do read it, I just ask maybe consider throwing me $1 or $2. And I have another novel called Unplugged, which was what's called an apprenticeship novel. It's like how I taught myself to write. I'm not gonna ever publish that, but you can check it out if you want. It's like something to do. I do have all my music, videos and stuff on stephenleake.com to go check out, and my internet radio you can access from stephenleake.com. Thanks for being here with me. I really appreciate it. Thanks for supporting me. I do it because I care about my friends, and like I care about people, and want to like prevent crazy shit from happening to them. Anyway, thanks. I love y'all. We're gonna win.